JKeSPORT Racing League for the 7th round at the Canada circuit de Villeneuve. We're starting a bit late. We had a bit of a confusion with session starting and invites, but we're going to be getting in right now. 15 minutes into the session. Should be all good though. I am your commentator for furthermore any more races this season, Alex Tonkis, and it's a pleasure to be giving you the coverage today. So we'll just, as we get in, we'll have a look at the first lap set. There's a few drivers to keep your eyes on. Scavney, he leads the league at the moment with 110 points, and as I just come on board, Chris Money puts it into the wall. He will lose a bit of his front wing and he'll have to try and trundle back to the pits now. But I'm trying to see who is on an outlap, as Chris Money does go fastest but will be overtaken by Hilda Beast with a 110, so a good lap here. Good lap there from him on the medium tyres as well, so he's going to be chuffed with that lap. There's one out. Have a look at Scatty, as Brian Mosser does go faster on the softs with 110.415. Johnny with 113 on the softs. So at the moment the medium runners going faster than the softs. As we'll go on board with K-Dog here, going down into the final chicane. You want to try and keep it away from the curb so you don't get a little bunny hop into the wall of champions. She opens the DRS straight away and she will get a 112, so she goes fastest of the soft runners but not able to displace Brian Mosser and Hilda Beast at the moment. But AG Scatty got it wrong, got a 116 on the soft, so a few drivers struggling to get it right on the soft so far. As now Scavney, your leader of the championship, will come round to finish his first flying lap, or his first hot lap even. As I think Vicious Cali in the Ferrari goes into fourth with a 112.588. Here goes Scavney, takes the last turn, goes in very quickly, will have the toe of Johnny as well to help, and it is quickest, a 109.2, a very quick lap from Scavney on the soft, so he takes provisional pole 5 minutes into the session. So a few drivers still in the pits: Cromley Jackson, Fabio Sapio and Braylo the Man. And I'll have a look to see if anyone's still on a hot lap. We'll go on board with Johnny here on the softs. He doesn't have a lot of VRS yet left, so you're going to want to think that you might struggle down the back straight, but he'll build it up in the hairpin. He goes a bit wide out of the quick chicane, flying down to the hairpin now. Brakes at just the 100 metre board, gets the car turned in. Good exit out there, got the traction down quick, and now flies through the last straight, opens the DRS zone, gets to the edge of the track, and will go into the pits. So after the first stints, most drivers have come in. We'll go on board with Space Manny here, see if he will finish his lap or if he will come into the pits. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. I think someone may have crashed. No, it's just Scatty going slow here. So at the moment, provisional pole is Scavney with a 109.2, followed by Brian on the mediums, but he's now on his soft run. He's second at the moment. He's going to look to go faster than Scavney though on the softer compound. Hilda Beast in third with 110. K-Dog in fourth, looking for her first points of the season. This could be a good place to get it around Canada. Very, power circuit. You need to get the power down, so not a lot of room for error, but could take use of people maybe messing up their turns, as we'll go on board for Brian's hot lap here as he goes through the first turn through the right hander. You've got to keep the traction down, but give yourself a wide exit so you can keep as much power down as possible. Now through the first chicane, hits it on the right. Now the left hander gets through there, followed by the quick right hander. That turn's always difficult because it's off camber. Your car's not used to going through there. It's a bit tough to get traction down. Now again through the second chicane of the track. Canada known for its chicane, so you need to get him right. It's now nearly a whole second up of his time. Goes into the hairpin, the famous hairpin, into the stadium section. And now going down the straight, and this is the fastest part of the lap. Braking down into the final chicane. What will he be able to do here? Gets the car stopped, avoids the curb, bunny hops the second one, keeps it out of the wall of champions. DRS, he's run out of hers on the way to the line, and it is second, just a 1/10.5 off Scavney on pole. But Brian should be happy with that lap. It wasn't a horrible lap, he kept it in there, and he's going to be pleased with that. After coming third the race beforehand in Spain, Monaco was more of a dummy race as most players weren't there due to it being a holiday weekend. But we'll go on board, we'll see who else is on lap. So Scavney is also on a lap now. K-Dog going through the final chicane now. So we'll just have a look who else is on lap. Braylo the man is on a lap here. Finished sixth last time out in Spain. So he's going to want to get a good lap in here so he can start towards the top half of the grid, try and replicate that finish again. Just going board Scavney, a 10th slower than our last time, gets it a little bit wide through there, does keep the traction on. And Scavney, the pole sitter here, going for his second lap. But we'll go on board with Brello here on the medium, so he's trying to set a time on the mediums, get a benchmark. You know, there's only 12 drivers today, so it's more than likely you're going to get into the top 10, so maybe starting on the mediums, give yourself more options come race. Could be a good shot as he now flies down into the final chicane. A little bit deep, hits the curb, loses traction but gets the power back on as soon as possible and take a short run to the line, and he will qualify 4th on the medium. So that is a good time from him, a 1:11. As we'll go back on the pole man at the moment, he's nearly 4 temps up on his previous time, and he goes into the 1.8, so 1:8.95. Big lap there from Scavney, and that is why he is your leader of the championship. Finished second last time out behind SM BRRTT, but with him not in the lobby today, he will be hoping to go for the win and restore Mercedes to their winning ways. We'll see who else is on a lap. Hilde, he's going slow, giving himself the best possible run into next lap. Here we go. So he starts his hot lap here. He's on the soft, so he's going to look to again set another and did. Going from the medium to the soft. So we'll stay on board with Hilda here as he goes through the chicane. Nice on the curbing, good exit. That's a very flowing corner. It's very good to get it correct. It makes you feel good, makes you feel like you've got the pace, you've got the understanding of the cars. Again, another good exit. Tries to hug the inside little lap of the turn, give himself the shortest run. Now through the second chicane, uphill rather than downhill this time, and running up to the hairpin now. gets heavy on the brakes, gets the car turned in. Now again, down the back straight, open CRS. He hasn't got a lot of fuel left, so he's going to need to be mindful of that on his lap in. As no, he's not going to go for a lap. He will come into the pits. And I don't know what's happened with Vish here, but he's spun it out of the third turn. Or spun it on the way to the third turn here. As I think he may have been disqualified. No, he hasn't been disqualified. So he'll carry on. He is on his out lap, so he will have time to get a lap in. It's not like he was his flying lap. But with 5 minutes to go, it is Scavney who leads from Brian by 5/10. He'll the Beast in third on the mediums. Great result for him. Chris in fourth on the softs, and then Braylo in fifth on the mediums. Vish in sixth on the softs. K-Dog in seventh. AG Scatty on eighth. Johnny ninth. Spaceman in 10th. Fabio in 11th. And Cromley Jackson is yet to set a lap. So Chris Money, he's going to dive into the pits. What will Brian do? Will he stay out for this lap? Yes, he will. He'll take the final chicane. Well, he's done well through there as well. Will it be a quick enough time to get pole? No, it's a 10th down on his previous fastest lap. So he's going to want to get in as quick as possible, fit another set of sops on, and go again at the line. But the only person out on a lap at the moment is Johnny, and I think Spaceman is also on a lap. No, he's bailed it, so we'll stay on line with Johnny here. Goes for the first chicane, all massively wide, has to brake very slowly there to get the car turned in. So turns in a bit early for that turn as well, the Sky. Oh, not Sky, Johnny, sorry. Don't know why I said Sky. I have Sky on my screen. So Johnny now for the chicane, all gets it a bit wrong. Able to keep it out of the wall, but he might want to come into the pits, change his softs and see if he has any wing damage. I'll have a look to see if he does. No, I think he's all good on wing damage, but he might want to come into the pits anyway. As we see, I think that's Fabio coming out of the pits. We'll have a look. No, it is Chris coming out of the pits. Beg your pardon. So Brian here on a lap. He's got a Ferrari of Vish ahead of him, so I don't think Brian is going to be overly happy, as he did go faster last lap, so he has gained time, but he's getting stopped here by Vish, so I think he's just going to back off, get some space, and we'll see what he can do on his final lap. Scavney is still in the pits, yet to come out, so he must think his time is good enough. I think the cutoff for being able to get out and around the track in time is probably 1 minute 40, maybe even 2 minutes, so he might have missed that cutoff now, and it'll be tough for him to get around the track in time. So we will go on board with Brian Mosso's. Braylo does go quicker than his previous fastest lap on the medium, but on the soft still stays in fifth. But Brian goes into the pits, so he thinks he's gotten all he can out of the softs he was on with a 1.9299. Scavney will stay in the pits, so he'll the Beast now, the man to look to knock Scavney off a pole. Here we go, out on his lap here, takes the first corner, round the second, again want to keep the traction down, going through the gears now, into the downhill chicane, nice entry, try and make that corner a straight line as much as possible, keeping tyres on the rubber. chicane to the right, saying to the inside of the track, cutting the distance off. Good through the uphill chicane. Now brakes for the hairpin. He gets the braking right, gets the car turned in, keeps it on the power as he head down the back straight. Will it be quick enough to knock Scavney off pole? I think it might be close, as he'll go through the final chicane, keeps out of the wall of champions. That's the main worry going through there. What will the time be? Oh, it is pole. It is pole from Hildebeest by just under 200ths of a second. That is massive there from Hildebeest. He is going to be well chuffed. Scavney, I think, played it too safe, staying into the pits, not going out again. And Chris still on a lap. He's 15 thousandths off, so he could improve on his time. He will have to improve by 1.6 seconds to move up any positions, but if he can find some pace somewhere, it's through the hairpin, goes in a little deep, but able to keep the power down as he now flies through the back straight, as we see Spaceman pull to the side to let Chris through. Breaks down for the final chicane, avoids the wall of champions, and on the run down to the line, what will the time be? It will be an improvement, but it's not going to improve any positions for him, as he will stay fourth. I think Spaceman's the only driver to finish, and he will. So an enthralling qualifying session there. Hildebeest pipping Scavney to the line by just a second. Very, very good lap from him, but here is the result. So Hildebeest is on pole, Scavney in second, Brian Mosser third, Chris fourth, Braylo fifth, Vish sixth, K-Dog seventh, Johnny eighth, Scatty ninth, Spaceman 10th, Fabio 11th, and Cromley Jackson yet to set a time. But Hildebeest there with a fantastic lap to get pit pole from Scavney. Scavney must be a bit annoyed with that. Yeah, he definitely would have thought he got the time, didn't bother to go out and paid the price, but he's starting on second, so definitely has a chance to get the lead. But Canada, you're looking at a strategy for a 50% race. You're looking at a two-stop. If you can stretch the one-stop, it may not be quick enough, so the two-stop may be the only option. So it's just, oh, it's wet. It is a wet race, and now this is going to be fun. If we can have a repeat of Canada 2011, that would be an amazing sight, but I think the drivers are going to be a bit taken aback from the wet. Let's see what we can do. So usually wait for the drivers to sort out their strategy. Must have been a massive curveball to them to see the rain falling. So we will now wait and see the strategies. It doesn't look overly wet, so intermediates would be the call, but it's how long will this rain start? So as they go out on their formation lap, oh, they've all opted the dry tyres, so they obviously don't believe it's that wet, so grip may be an issue. So it's whoever gets the traction down, whoever finds the most amount of grip on the soft tyres. But that is definitely an interesting call from the drivers. I wonder what, maybe there's been some planning ahead. I mean, you always want to test all conditions, you never know what will happen in an F1 race. So Hildebeest, so the only two runners outside the top 10 opting the mediums. So we'll just wait and see what they will be able to do. Will they be able to make it last? I mean, I'm not too sure about the medium choice here. There's not going to be as much grip, you know, with the mediums. They are the harder compounds, so they're going to be less grippy, when the softs may be the right idea, but it depends how long this rain is going to last for. I mean, unfortunately for me and you guys watching, we're not going to be able to see when the rain is forecast to stop, or when if it will get heavier. But all drivers have definitely seen the graph, and looks like it will get dry fairly quickly, so are confident to go out on the soft. So as we get prepared for the start here, I wish all the drivers a good race, a good start, and clean battling. So we will wait for the grid to reform, and here we are. The grid has reformed, and now we have 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4, 5 lights, and away we go for the start of the Canadian Grand Prix. A few jump starts there from drivers, and Scavney gets a fantastic start. Not sure what happened there from Hill de Beast. Maybe he just got off a lot slower, but Scavney will lead the race from Hill de Beast in second, Brian in third, Chris fourth, and there's been a crash. I think Vish has lost it, and where we saw him lose it in qualifying, he's lost it there again. And now Cromley and Fabio on the mediums gain many positions. Hildebeest gets it wrong through the left-hander, and now he will get a battle with Brian as they're side by side here into the chicane. What will they do? They're going to have to be a lot more careful with the wet conditions. Hildebeest pretty much cuts the chicane, but Brian is going to have a better run up to the hairpin. What will they do now? As Hildebeest goes deep to defend it, Brian goes for the cutback. What a move from Brian if he's able to get it done. No, Hildebeest has the traction in the Alfa Romeo, I beg your pardon, to get through. And Sabio has, what has happened behind? Spaceman's gone off at the hairpin. Has something happened to Fabio's car? I saw a severe collision. He's lost an end plate. What's happened to K-Dog? Is K-Dog alright? K-Dog seems to be okay. Not going to dive into the pit, so no physical damage. Braylo has to do his drive through now, as he unfortunately jump started at the start, and I think Scavney did as well. That's why he got such a good start. So Scavney now is going to be a bit of a recovery drive from him down in 6th, but he does pull out ahead of his teammate. So now after lap 2, or during lap 2, it is just ahead of Brian, who's looking for an overtake. He really wants to get it done. Chris in 3rd here in the Haas. Scatty followed by Cromley Jackson, who's done fantastically, starting from last on the grid, not setting a time in qualifying, to now up into 5th, looking for a move on Scatty. Will he find the place? No, he will stick behind him. I mean, if the conditions do get better for Cromley, he's going to be on the mediums. He's going to have a longer time into this race, as now we'll go down the inside. I think Scatty just let him through. He knew Cromley had the better pace, so just decided to not even put up a fight. As now Hildebeest looking to gain from Brian, but Brian's got the slipstream down this long back straight. There's definitely going to be, I think something's happened in the hairpin. What's happened? Massive collision from someone, as Fabio somehow comes out ahead of it all on the mediums, but they're all struggling back here, it seems, with that hairpin, as Hildebeest does set the fastest lap of the race, but obviously that's only because of the race start. As now Brian looks to be dropping back. He's behind the second. I don't think DRS was activated. If it was, I hadn't seen it. And there's another crash in sector 3. Who is that? Is that the Mercedes of K-Dog? K-Dog's got it all wrong through the chicane. Lost her front wing, or lost a bit of her front wing, and that she can't go around to the pit, so she's going to have to trundle all the way around the circuit. Oh, lost half her front wing. This is going to be painful for her. She's going to have to go very slowly. Scatty has left the session. Don't know why. As Scavney makes his way through. So Scavney, good recovery so far, up into 5th place. As we'll go on board with this session. Johnny here, they're having a bit of a battle. Vish just cuts across the chicane, gets back ahead of Johnny. Johnny's not going to be too happy with that. Sky has joined back again, so it was just connection failures. Vish goes deep, so does Johnny. Johnny sort of pushing him out off the track, and Vish gets it all wrong, and he's able to get his car across Johnny, so it stops him from getting past Vish again. And Johnny's got a 5-second time penalty for severe collision with Vish as he gets it in the wall. So Spaceman will move up into 10th. Vish dropping places, and this will allow K-Dog to try and make her way back, but she has only got half a wing, so she will need to come in this lap no matter what. So the race still stands. Hildy is in first. Oh, there's been a crash. The Toro Rosso Brian gets it all wrong, lost the grip, and he's gonna be upset about that one because he was challenging for the lead, and he's also lost half his wing, so he's gonna have to come to the pit. And I think it would be smart for him to get out of the way. He's not going to. He's going to try and attempt the chicane, get it all wrong, and will stay ahead of Cromley. I mean, the sister Red Bull team not doing any favours for Cromley. He would just want to get on his way. As Brian goes for the hairpin forward very closely by Cromley. And definitely through this back straight, there's going to be no questions asked. The Red Bull should be able to get the move done, as he does open DRS. Don't think he's close enough, but Brian will come to the pits anyway, so he didn't need to risk a move. So that's unfortunate for Brian, but Hildy Beast leads the way on the soft tyres. Chris Money's 6 seconds back, so he's going to have to do a massive drive to try and get the lead. Cromley Jackson in third with a stellar performance from last on the grid on the mediums. Luck has just fallen his way. Scavney 6 seconds back on Cromley. He will want to try and revenge that drive-through penalty he got for skipping the start, or jump start in the start. They were held for a very long time. I will give him cutting some slack, as K-Dog has spun it and just left it there. She's waiting. K-Dog's been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. She didn't really have anywhere else to go. She wanted to try and rejoin, but was just stuck on the edge there. As Hildebeest flies down the start-finish straight, and he'll go through the final chicane. It's definitely going to be more precarious now than it was in qualifying, as he didn't have the rain to deal with, but he does go fastest on that lap. So we'll stay on board with him for this lap. As Chris comes into the pits, did he have damage? Yes, he had damage. He lost an end plate. Oh, I don't know what he's lost, but he had damage, so he has to change. He's gone onto the medium tyre. He's going to drop back a bit. He should come out ahead of Scatty though, perhaps. Oh no, I think Scatty followed him in, so Braylo will gain his positions and will go up into 5th. Brian sets the fastest lap with 1:15, so maybe the rain has come and gone. It does look like it's not falling anymore. So Hildebeest at the moment is just going to be looking to stay consistent. He's leading the pack by a long way. Cromley in second on the medium, so if he's able to stay relatively close to Hildy, he might be able to, during the soft stint, or during the 2 soft stints, he might keep close on Hildebeest, but it'll be whoever blinks first really for them two. Who's gonna, I mean, you'd expect Hildy to come in first on the softs, but in a race earlier in Spain, the driver went 30 laps on the hards during a 50% race. It was an absolutely insane race. So if you enjoy more league racing, go over to Formula Euro League. But luckily for them races aren't at the same time, so you will have to stay with us. But that's fortunately for you, as Hilda B's here going through the left and right hander. As Brian goes quick as a 1:16, so pace is definitely picking up for the drivers. As we'll stay on board with Brian here, as we've got the battle with Chris coming up, both on the medium tyres, so should be evenly poised. As they follow through the left and right hander, he's going to want to get somewhat close enough for the back straight and then the start finish straight DRS zones, so he's able to close the gap on him. But he's done well for the chicane, he's gaining on him into the hairpin. He's just going to want to keep it clean. Chris goes a bit deep, he's hit the wall. And has he got damage maybe? I'll have a look. I'm not sure, but Brian will pull across to the side to go for the overtake with DRS. Has he got the move done? He is ahead and will get across him to get the move. Fantastic move from Brian there to get ahead of Chris. Chris unfortunate to hit the wall, as Brian does go quickest again, 1:14, so lap time's really building. Rain has definitely stopped falling. As we go on board with Scavney here, he's right on the back of Cromley. Cromley's mediums, you know, this is the problem with going on the mediums. You are going to be slower for the beginning part of the race. Scavney, we know, is quick, only just pipped to pole by Hildy Beast. And your leader of the championship here is looking rife for an overtake here. Will he go for it into the hairpin? He ducks down the inside. No, he thinks better of it, and that's smart because he'll be able to get the traction down and he'll have the DRS zone to play with. So here he goes, opens the DRS. He's going to stay in the slipstream of the Red Bull. Will he go for a move into the final chicane? Oh no, he dives into the pits. So Scavney will dive into the pits. Only notice Hildy also came in, but he's able to get back out ahead of Cromley. So you'd think Hildy right in the driving seat. Brian Mozzo, the fastest man on the track at the moment, just setting purple laps after purple laps. He's going to be absolutely thrilled with his pace at the moment. So now every driver on the mediums except Fabio, who's gone out on the hards. So we'll go on board with Brian, the fastest man on the track at the moment, trying to chase down Cromley. He's got four lap better mediums on, so he should be going quicker than him. As I don't know if something's happened to Cromley, but Brian will just carry on as if everything's normal. Cromley does go slow through the hairpin. Brian able to get the power on, he is able to get the move done even before the DRS zone, so that's really going to help him build a gap. And now a man on the mission to chase down the beast. Will Brian go quicker again? He does go quicker again. It's insane driving from Brian at the moment, and if you're Hilda Beast, you're going to be getting a little bit nervous, perhaps. You know, Brian's setting purple laps after purple laps, so we know Hildy isn't able to keep up with him. So we'll go on board with Chris Money here as he's looking to game on Cromley. So it's going well here for Chris. He's within the second now. So I think Cromley's got a problem with his car because he's going very slow through the hairpin. And Chris gets the move again before the DRS zone. So we've seen that twice now. He's able to get the move. on Cromley before the DRS zone, so Cromley needs to be careful. His Hildebeest, I said he's maybe not able to keep up with the pace, and as soon as I say that, commentator curse for Brian. Hildy sets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:12 on the mediums. That is a very quick lap during the race, but Scavney also goes faster. So Scavney now the fastest man on track. He needs to catch up to Cromley, who is having problems, so it won't be the hardest chase for Scavney perhaps. As we'll go on board with Johnny here, as he is closing up to Fabio. Vish close behind him. He opens DRS, does Johnny. What's he able to do? He's going to look to go round the outside. Hits the wall massively. Probably will have wing damage. No, he looks good on the wing, so he gets the move done. Good move from Johnny there to get ahead of the hard runner of Fabio. And now what will Vish do? Oh, Fabio goes a bit wide. And wide again, so Vish will look to go down the inside. Does he have the line? Will he have the power out of the corner? Down into downhill chicane. No, he won't. Fabio over to hold the position, was very slow through the chicane. And Vish might have wing damage. Did hit him on the back slightly. No, he does look all good. So go through the slow left and right hander. But he will DRS with Vish, and oh, Fabio, massive block, a massive hit again. These two drivers need to be careful. They don't want to go to the stewards box after the race and get a talking to. But Fabio playing very defensive here, getting the elbows out. Vish, oh, and Fabio's hit Vish, and Vish has lost his front wing, and that is going to cause a massive problem for Vish. He's going to struggle to get back to the pit lane now. Cromley wasn't able to drive, so it was his computer driving, so his computer's done a good job for him, to be fair. Vish has left. He's not happy with the driving from Johnny, or not Johnny, Fabio, so he will definitely be going to the stewards after the race. But at the moment, 13 laps in, it's Hildebeest who leads from Brian, from Chris in the Haas, then Scavney in the lone Mercedes today as his teammate disqualified for parking in a dangerous position on track. Cromley in 5th, Braylo in 6th, then it's Scatty, followed by Johnny, followed by Fabio, followed by Spaceman, and then Vish, who has left the session but will carry on racing, so maybe his CPU will be able to grab him some points today. But at the moment, Hildebeest looks like the man to beat on track. He's had the pace and his strategy's been good as well. Came in perfect time on the softs. Brian obviously spinning it, had to come in for a change, so he's on older tyres. But Fabio here at the moment going for his first points of the season. He will want to keep his 9th place as much as possible, so no wonder he was challenging so hard there against Vish. But Scavney in 4th. We'll want to try and, you know, gain some points on SMBRT, who isn't here today to race, so the more points Scavney can get, the bigger the lead becomes. Hildebeest in 4th, his teammate Captain Schmeg not able to be here today, so he'll want to pick up some massive points for the Alfa Romeo team, as at the moment that is what he's doing, coming home with a maximum 25 points. Perello the man, 5th in the championship, 6th in the race today, so would be a good point scoring race for him as Cromley comes in for his, I think, first pit stop of the race to go on to another set of mediums. So Hildebeest just gonna keep his lead. It's gonna be disappointing for K-Dog. Could have had the best chance of getting our first points today, qualified inside the top 10. You know, probably had a good strategy and then just got unfortunate with wing damage through the final chicane and then just couldn't pick up the pace from there. But Hildebeest is in the control seat of this race so far. Go on board with the championship leader here, Scavney, as he will try and look to gain on Chris. And we'll have a look at the trap data as well, see how quick they're lapping, as he's 8/10 slower than his best time, but his best time will most likely be on soft, so he's not going to be too worried about that. As he flies down into the chicane, as the sun definitely starting to gleam now, so the conditions, although started a bit gloomy with the light showers, now definitely picked up, as Hildebeest gaining massively on Brian this lap. Hildebeest must be on a very quick lap, and it's the fastest lap of the race, excuse me. It's the fastest lap of the race so far, so he's just finding pace, which Brian needs to try and keep up with, but he might struggle. He might have to try and beat him on strategy here. So if I was Brian, I don't know what my next call would be. You know, you've done 11 laps on the mediums, you probably can go another 5 or 6 more, which could bring you out for another medium run. The softs aren't going to be able to last that long, or maybe you go into the hards, you go soft, medium, hards. And so Hildebeest just getting through some lap traffic there. But Braylo right on the back of Cromley now. We know Cromley is struggling, he's not here to race, so Braylo should be able to gain a position here on the Red Bull. As we'll follow him through the first sector, see if he's able to get any moves done. No, we'll follow him through the lap actually. He should be able to get the move done on DRS straight. So they're getting right up into his engine. So here we go, he opens the DRS flap. Does he have the straight line speed? Did he have the exit? No, he wasn't close enough to get the move done. You want to stay close enough though through the hairpin. You don't want to go for the move through the hairpin though, because you'll lose your exit, and if you get the move and then Cromley's behind you, he'll get DRS, so he'll take the wide line, which is smart from Braylo there. It means he can get the car point forward quicker. Goes for the move, will pull out of the slipstream to get the place, and he will move up into 5th here. Goes through the final chicane, hits it well, loses a little bit of time there, but is able to get the move done. So at the moment, stagnant shift in the race, no one really closing up on anyone. Only Cromley and Braylo the next people to have a battle, but Hildebeest leads out in front, so we're going to stay on board with Hildy unless we see any other action around the track. As Hildebeest here comes around, we are officially halfway through the race. There's a yellow flag in sector 3. I wonder who that is. It's Brian. Brian, he's made a mess up of the final chicane, and he's already had wing damage in this race before, which cost him valuable time, and he's done it again. And the final chicane is the worst place to lose your wing, because you're not able to dive into the pits. You can't go backwards, you got to go around the entire track before you can get to the pits again. But Scavney here looks like he's gaining on Chris. He's within 2 seconds now, or just, no, he is within 2 seconds now, so he's gonna want to keep pushing here. Last time we were on board with him, the lead, or the gap was about 4, perhaps 5 seconds, so he's definitely reeling him in here. Chris is just going to want to get to the next pit stop phase, get some fresh rubber on his car. As you can see there, I mean, they're coming up onto lap traffic. Fabio should get out of the way though. He's on the hard, he's on a completely different strategy. He's nowhere near the race, so he's going to want to get out of the way. He doesn't want an angry Haas and Mercedes coming at him when they're battling for second and for second here. But Fabio will ghost. As I think that was a good addition from Cody's. I will like say this. I will give my applause to Cody's. Making the cars ghost if they're lapped just causes no, you know, safety cars as content creators would call it. So that's good for the drivers like Chris, like Scavney, who are trying to have a battle here. As Scavney is within the 1 second, so he should get DRS down this straight. He will. So we'll go on board with Scavney here as he's closing up on Chris. Oh, he gets the chicane all wrong, so he'll lose time. But he should still be in the DRS window as he closes down massively in the hairpin. As now they'll go onto the back straight. What will he be able to do? He has DRS, he has slipstream, he has tow. Will he go for the move? He's closing in rapidly. He goes to the inside. He dives out of the move. He realises if he gets a better exit, he can just go on the DRS, and that is exactly what he does. Pulls alongside, gets ahead of Chris now, and Scavney has been released to try and chase down the beast, something Brian wasn't able to do. Chris also struggled, lost time in fact, and now Scavney is on the charge, both on same lap hold medium. These are your two challengers as I flick between them, but we will stay on board with Chris as he should have DRS here. I think he was within the second, he is within the second, and he does close in. He just wants to keep in that second. As long as he keeps in that second for the back straight, he will be happy, but I don't think he is. No, 1.2, so he's lost out a lot of time there. Sol gets very close to the wall but keeps it out of it. So at the moment it is Hildy in first, followed by Scavney, followed by Chris, followed by Brian, followed by Braylo, followed by Cromley, followed by Scatty, followed by Johnny, followed by Fabio, Spaceman in 10th, and then Vish holding up the rear. I mean, Vish is going to be a bit upset with himself. He wasn't the cleanest of drivers in qualifying, I've heard, you know, blocking a few people, but he's new to short qualifying. It's his first race. It's going to take him a while to get used to the, you know, the structure of the league, so he should be all good for next week as he flies through the final chicane now. I mean, Canada's a beautiful circuit, you have to say. Very flying, good chicanes. I mean, it's a massive track for chicanes. If you love chicanes, Canada is your one place to be. As we will follow on with our lead of the race, I think Chris did come into pit after being overtaken by Scavney, so maybe his tyres had just hit the cliff and there was nothing else to give, which means we should be seeing a cliff hit by Hildy and Scavney soon. But unfortunately for Scavney, they're both on the same lap tyres, so if he's fallen off the cliff, so is Scavney, and Scavney's been pushing a lot harder than Hildy, so Hildy should have the advantage. We've got 13 or 14 laps to go here around Circuit de Villeneuve, named after the first Canadian driver to win his first race, Jean Villeneuve, F1 world champion. Very historic track, so it's a pleasure to be able to commentate here for this race. So Hildy, as he goes through the hairpin, I mean, the midpoints of race normally are quite stagnant. I mean, you've got the different strategies. It's at the end where you finally see what strategies have done what. But will Hildy dive into the pits? Yes, he will. So this is where it's going to get interesting. Will Scavney follow in, or will he try to push for one more lap? You would have seen Hildy come into the pits. So what is his strategy? Will he go straight on? No, he's going to go for one more lap. So he's going to hope that he has the pace to try and build more of a gap to Hildy, as Hildy will be coming out of the pits now. He's gone onto another set of mediums, so he's going to go for 12 laps on the mediums. Scavney might be holding out to go onto the softs actually, now I think about it. If he's able to stretch the mediums long enough, he might be able to go out on the softs, but again, who knows. But at the moment, no new battles brewing. We just got the saga of Scavney and Hildy. Will Scavney go onto softs? If he goes onto softs, he will have the pace advantage, but it will be a massive gap he has to claw back. He needs to build a gap this lap, try and create a big enough hole that he's able to chase down, or even a small enough gap between him that he's able to chase down after his pit stop. But I mean, this is where it's going to hurt him. The back straight, the toe, he needs to get in the toe of, I think that is Scatty. A lap behind, yes it is. So Scavney did go on to another lap, so he must be thinking softs will bust. But you never know. I mean, being the commentator, you're always in a blind position. You never know what the tyre wear is, don't know what the fuel load is, you know, so it's always tough. And I'm surprised we haven't seen a safety car, because Canada are known for obviously being a tight track, you know, many chicanes, the Wall of Champions being one definitely. I mean, maybe safety car isn't on for this league. It is my first race, so I don't know completely this scenario, but you know, safety car would have sorted a few drivers right. I was Hildy gaining massively this lap, pretty much within the second, so the toe here is going to be massive for Hildy if he's able to get into the slipstream. Scavney trying to swerve, and it would be smart for Scavney. He's not going to dive into the pits. Wow, I thought he would dive into the pits there, as it's obvious he's just losing more and more time on Hildy, because Hildy does go fastest. He's the fastest man on the track, chasing you down on 14 lap younger tyres. You're gonna be feeling a bit paranoid, as look how much he's gaining. He's gained about 5 tenths for the first 2 corners, as now for the chicane he does drop back a few tenths, but he's still within the second mark. Oh, maybe he's just dipped out of it, but we'll see. Will he open DRS? He does have DRS. He hasn't opened it. I don't think he realised he was within the DRS zone, so didn't open his DRS, which could be a costly mistake for him. But he's within the second now, so he should get the DRS on the back straight. Takes the hairpin well, will go on board now. Down the back straight. He does have DRS. Will he use it this time? Yes, he will. Opens it straight away. Not using any DRS, he's going to keep harvesting it. Will Scavney put into the pits now? Yes, he will. So Hildy has been released. Fresh air ahead of him. 10 laps left on these mediums. And what will Scavney do? Yes, Scavney, as I said, puts on a pair of soft boots on his tyre, on his car. Not soft boots on his tyres, soft tyres on his cars even. As he'll pull out of the pits. Will he get ahead of Chris? That's going to be massive for him. He doesn't want to deal with overtaking him, and he doesn't. He'll get behind. I mean, you will get DRS, so that could be a benefit of him being able to get within the DRS. But he has to stick behind him there. It hasn't been the greatest of timings for Chris to come out. Chris probably looking to go to the end on these mediums, so he is in a net third place, no second place. They're battling through the chicane. That is a great side by side fight here. No, Scavney on the soft tyres will get ahead. Chris was looking down the inside, decided against it, didn't want to ruin both their races there if he got that completely wrong. So the main battle here, 16 seconds, Hildy and Scavney. I mean, if Scavney does this, he deserves title leader, because it would be a massive climb back now. As I think Breo just got past Cromley, or Cromley may have got close to Breo. But Fabio still on his hards, and he will come into the pits. So that was a good time to check on Fabio, as he does dive into the pits now. And we'll have to see what tyre he goes onto. He's probably going to go onto the soft tyres. Yes, he does. He will put a pair of soft tyres on his car. Oh, he's got a 5-second stop penalty. That's going to really hurt him. As Johnny gets ahead, Spaceman gets ahead, and maybe Vish, if he's able to get ahead in time. Don't think he is. So at the moment, still no real battles as we come onto the last 8 laps of the Grand Prix now. It's been you've got to say, a Vettel-like performance from Hilda Beast. Vettel from 2011 to 2014 performance from Hilda Beast, controlling the race from lap 1. I mean, Scavney, unfortunate to get that drive-through penalty. The lights were held for a very long time, so he's gonna take that to the bank and cash that in any time he can, to talk about why he maybe didn't win this race. But I think Scavney did just go fastest there, as he did cut the lead down quite a bit. It's only 14 seconds now, I've only just realised. So with 7 laps to go, he needs to gain by 2 seconds each lap, which may be a tall ask, but I mean, Hilda Beast on older medium tyres, so although it's going to be tough for him to chase it down, he could have the better tyre choice on, but there was a 3-second time penalty for, I think, Spaceman there, so he's going to be disappointed with that. So Scavney comes up behind Cromley to lap him here. Again, disappointing for Cromley. Wasn't able to turn up, but hopefully we'll have his issues solved for next week. Scavney also looking upon the Toro Rosso of Scatti here. As we're closing up to the last 5 laps of the race, we're going back on board with Hildy, as he is just commanding this race at the front. Really not making any mistakes here. He's been flag free all day, or all race even. Stole the pole from Scavney on his last lap. This is going to be a brilliant result for Hildy to be able to come out with the win. I mean, it's not done yet. Don't want to be getting ahead of him. Don't want to commentate curse him, as I don't think he'd be too happy with that. But I mean, this would be massive for Hildy Beast. Didn't even finish last time out in Spain, so he's going to want to pick up some massive points right now. And as I've said many a time, at the moment he's got 25 on the board, and he's looking to lap Vish for, I think, a 2nd time this race. But Cromley's fitted softs, so 3 drivers on the softs: Scavney, Cromley and Fabio, all on the softs, the rest on mediums. And the softs always younger than the mediums, as the lead only just under 12 seconds now for Hildy Beast. He's definitely looking for a good result here. I mean, he should be happy with 2nd, especially after the drive-through. He is going to be disappointed about it though, but I mean, getting a drive-through to soldier your way back through the field to get to 2nd, that is definitely a good result. I mean, not many position changes throughout the race. Scatti and Cromley the main gainers here, with Scatti picking up 3 positions up to 6, Cromley picking up 5, so although he isn't here, he will be able to pick up points for the good. And Spaceman and Fabio also going up positions with Vish and K-Dog, the biggest losers. Brian also losing a position to Chris. So the field massively spread out. So we'll have a look to the gap to the leader. Everyone pretty much a lap down. Vish 2 laps down. So definitely a good race from Hildy. Being able to lap all these drivers. As now the lead is within 10 seconds for Scavney, so I mean, as I said many a time, it will be a tall ask, but let's sort of see if he can make it work. It's going to be a monumentous effort, but he will have lap cars to maybe grab some DRS from. I think that's a car. That's the Ferrari of Vish and the Racing Point of Braylo, I think. Yes. As all Braylo. Oh, my screen got it all wrong, but gets saved by the lag. That's Hildy again. 4 laps remaining in this race. Been absolutely cruising. So, walking through the strategy of the race from Hildy. He's pitted twice. He's gone from soft to medium onto another set of mediums. So it was a very good strategy from him. Again, got very fortunate with the drive-through penalty for Scavney. Scavney only gained a second this lap, so he probably most likely won't have the pace to get through and take the lead. The Hildy here, 3 laps left for him. We're going to stay on board with Hildy unless we see any other laps or any other battles brewing. But I don't think, looking at the interval timings, not many. So we'll just go through some of the statistics. Scavney does have the fastest lap of the race with 1:11.5, which is a quick lap. Nothing to scoff your nose at, especially during a race, because you're not going flat out, you've got heavier cars, you're not deploying all your ERS, so it is a good lap from him. Second fastest Hildy Beast, so another good lap from him. But other than that, going into the last 2 laps of the race, your positions are Hildy, Scavney, Chris, Brian, Braylo, Scatty, Cromley, Johnny, Spaceman, Fabio and Vish in 11th. K-Dog, the only one who won't finish today's race, as she unfortunately got DNF'd. So it was a shame for K-Dog, as I've said again. Could have been a good chance of getting points, but unable to come through here. Hildy Beast again doesn't want to crash out, doesn't want to make a massive mistake and put something in the wall, as I've been in this position before and stuck it right into the wall. I mean, Scavney's only 5 seconds behind now, so he is gaining, but not gaining enough, not gaining at a quick enough pace to make a big difference. So as we come across the back straight for the second to last time, we're going to go on board with Hildy Beast and just take a lap in from the leader of the race. So as he goes through the start finish line, cruises down to the first corner, braking just a little bit after the 100-meter board through the right hander there, take as wide a line as possible so he can get the traction down quicker. Again, just before the 50-meter braking board this time. Get the car turned in for the chicane, take the curb there so you can get a better line through the quick right-hander, able to take the left-hander as smooth as possible, again get as wide as possible to go under the Fly Emirates tunnel. You want to brake midway through the Fly Emirates tunnel there to get the car turned in for that chicane. You don't want to touch that much of the curb because you could spin out there if you put the throttle down too much. Fly under the Rolex bridge, brakes just after the 100-meter board to get the car turned in. Very heavy braking zone there, as there is a yellow flag. We're going to ignore that though, as Hildebeest will go down the back straight for the final time in today's race. What a performance it has been from Hildy, as he will go through the final chicane. He will keep it out of the wall of champions, and Hildebeest will come across to win the Canadian Grand Prix. A result for Hildebeest, a fantastic race. Scavney will come across the line in second, a valiant effort after the drive-through penalty. He will be happy with that, and he will gain on his championship rival who wasn't here, SMBRRTT. Chris Money will now come across the line in third to finish on the podium. A good result from Chris there. Brian going to be disappointed with his performance in the race today. Fourth is a very good position for him, but could have made it maybe a third if he hadn't crashed out, maybe even a second thanks to Scavney's penalty with the drive-through. Brelo finishing fifth in the Racing Point, good result for him. Goes one place better than Spain. Scatti in the Toro Rosso in sixth, fantastic performance from him. Cromley is going to be happy watching his CPU get him across the line into seventh, picking him up some vital points, as now the Williams, or the Racing Point of not the Racing Point, the Williams of Johnny comes across the line there to finish eighth. Spaceman here finishing ninth in the other Haas, and I think it was Fabio in 10th. So a fantastic race there for the Alfa Romeo, who picks up all 25 points today, and he will celebrate on the podium with Scavney and also sorry then, my mind just went blank. Chris, sorry, my apologies, my mind just went completely blank. I had a brain fart. It is very early for me in the morning in England. It is 1:41 in the morning, so this race has really been a test of my mental ability. But as we stop talking about your mental issues, Alex, and as we have a look at the race results here, Hildebeest does finish first in the Alfa Romeo. Scavney did pick up a 3-second time penalty anyway, so would have had to beat Hildy by 3 seconds to get the win, so unfortunate for him. Chris in third in the Haas, good points for him today. Brian Mossart in fourth here, Brelo in fifth, Scatti sixth, Cromley seventh, Johnny eighth, Spaceman ninth, Fabio 10th, Vish 11th, and K-Dog the only person to not finish. So what a fantastic race here around Circuit de Villeneuve. It has been a pleasure to commentate it for you. Congratulations to Hildebeest, who picks up his first win of the season. But that will be goodbye from me. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of your day if you're watching this during the day, and that is me. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.